Okay, so we are on. Good morning, Magda. 12th of August, Thursday. Beautiful day in Warsaw. Beautiful day probably in Wrocław. How are
Hello,
you?
Tom. You are totally right. Yeah, in Wrocław, the weather is beautiful today.
Great. Okay, let's go. First, we got a busy news story today. A lot of stories and a lot of interesting ones. Pig farms, technology, M&A deals,
Yeah,
new investments.
biotechnology,
Yeah.
health, exactly.
Okay,
So we
first
start.
story.
Okay. Pig farms embrace tech. Big Farm Net technology boosts Dutch client Gobarto's new farm. After a renovation period of 1.5 years, Big Dutchman customer Gobarto recently started operating one of the most modern pig farms in Poland, located in Zalesie, not far from Wrocław, which can house 6,000 sows.
Yeah, so this is some reason the Dutch are very big on pig farming in Europe. They're big pig farmers. I don't know why that's the case historically, but anyway, that's the case. And they're using, of course, technology being applied to the pig farming business as well. I've even heard of previously milking cows with technology in a really soft way, apparently. So the technology to the agricultural sector is quite interesting. Okay, next story, please, Magda.
Neuka adopts these voice bots to serve patients. A technology company specializing in the production of voice bots that sounds like people has partnered with the Neuka Group. The core business of Neuka is the wholesale distribution of drugs, but the group also includes an independent network of clinical research centers and the Świat Zdrowia network of clinics.
Okay, great. No comments there. I'll go on to the next. I'll do the next story myself, Monica. So LuxMed is buying this Lecznica Cytomed in Torun, and it's been challenged by the Polish competition authorities on the grounds that there's less competition in the market, and they have a chance to increase the prices to their clients, which of course is the reason people do acquisitions. They try to get a stronger position. Anyway, it's just a review. It's not a rejection. So LuxMed continues on its course of more acquisitions and roll-ups in the medical sector in Poland. Okay, next story for you, Magda.
PKP signs 422 million złotych deal with Trakcja. PKP Polskie Linie Kolejowe will modernize the Warszawa Wschodnia Osobowa and Warszawa-Wawer railway line with completion planned for 2023.
Okay, great. And I'll take the next one. This startup BitPeak has done a new deal with PG&IG for kind of a lead gen application for its its photovoltaics offer, which I think is cool because first of all, BitPeak was backed by one of the startups funded by some of the multiple VCs in Poland, but small startup, and they just got a new big deal. It's applying lead generation to a large company on the photovoltaic side. Great to see them getting that deal done, and congrats as they continue their expansion, BitPeak startup. Okay, next story to you, Magda.
Eder Biomedical raises 14 million zlotys from US investors for development of bionic prosthesis technology. Polish startup Eder Biomedical has landed a financing round led by the New York-based Story Ventures Fund, as well as Sunfish Partners, Chirati Ventures, Joyance Partners, and Business Angels Funds.
Yeah, I think this is a financing round from U.S. investors, which of course precedes a major expansion of Aether Biomedical into the U.S. market. So they're going to the U.S. market. Good to see some major U.S. VCs behind it. That'll help their entry into the U.S. market. Big sector prosthesis market in the U.S. huge. So we'll watch how they develop as well. Okay, next one, Magda.
HR firm Amplocity introduced AI chatbots to entice crowdfunding investors. Amplocity has launched an offer of shares in the form of equity crowdfunding with plans to raise approximately 3 million zlotys. There are plans to debut on the New Connect market at the turn of 2021 and 2022.
You know, it's interesting, the chat box, that's a second story today with chatbox and AI applied to the chatbox business. It's, of course, it's customer services, but Amplocity is particularly focused on the HR side. So we'll see how they develop, but wonderful to see another crowdfunding deal for an HR startup. We'll see how they develop. We'll watch their debut on New Connect market, perhaps by the end of this year.
Okay, the next story. Cartesia completes 78 million euro investment in new Polish-Dutch mushroom production venture. Cartesia has invested in Okeham Group, Europe's leading producer of highest quality preserved mushrooms.
Yeah, big deal. This Cartesia is, of course, run by Andrzej Klesik, who was a PZU CEO for many, many years. Very smart, knows what he's doing. This is a pretty big deal. Interesting, the mushroom business, it's a play on health. It's a play on the meat alternatives. I didn't know that the mushrooms are being deployed in meat alternatives. Of course, that business is growing very fast. Poland is very well positioned in that space because of its strong position in agriculture. So we'll see more of those type of deals coming up, I think. So, okay, next story, Magda.
Polish investors discuss investment in disputed Western Sahara region. A group of investors from Poland will visit Morocco in September to examine expanding investment opportunities in the Western Sahara region, which is disputed between Rabat and the Polisario Front.
I'll just add one comment about how our website and newsletters work, because here I thought to myself, I'd like to know who are those investors, brave investors, in my opinion, who are investing in Western Sahara. But the way our website newsletter works is we don't always put the names of the people there in the newsletter. But if you want to find them, you simply drill down, go to the newsletter, click on the link, and then you can click further on the original story, because we're aggregating lots of content. So you can then find those original Polish investors in the original story. So that's how the site works. Use it to find more leads. And again, we like to say news you can use. That's another example of how you can use the news that we're giving out to you. Okay, next story, Magda.
Partner in pet food buys Mispol pet food producer. European pet food manufacturer Partner in Pet Food will soon own Białystok-based Mispol, following an agreement with parent company and private equity firm NDX Group.
Yeah, I didn't see the price of this deal, but a big deal. Congrats to the founders of Mispol in Eastern Poland, Białystok, selling to a major European private equity group. Good deal for them. This is the second acquisition for Partner in Pet Food this particular year. So we'll see how they continue on their drive to expand. Okay, next story, Magda.
AI chip developer Graphcore opens major R&D center in Gdańsk. The UK company, which has raised $682 million for its AI chip development, is looking for a broad range of people for the center across a wide range of software engineering.
Hey, good new deal, a UK company coming into Gdańsk. Congrats to Pomerania and Gdańsk. And another software engineering deal, tech deal. But look, AI chip development, 682 million. It's a lot of money in this space. And what's happening, of course, is as that money gets raised, we're seeing a lot of those companies open up software development, R&D development offices across Poland. And a big win for Gdańsk. And great to see a new UK company in Poland. Okay, next story.
Beer industry leader Kompania Piwowarska focuses on renewables and green production. Kompania Piwowarska aims to boost its non-alcoholic products to 20% by 2030.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of this space. The beer companies are huge consumers of water, huge consumers of natural resources, grains, etc. So they're really pushing big on the renewable angle, on the reusable angle, which is great, recycling. We've seen that with the Asahi deal very recently. By the way, Asahi will be speaking at our event next in a few weeks, about a month from now. So that's another big consumer of water and products on the recycling, the green side. So good to see them pushing hard. And of course, look at that details, 20% non-alcoholic. People, again, they know that everyone's not going to be drinking beer, alcohol, wines. They're looking for the non-alcoholic, healthy thing. That's the big theme here we got. Okay, next story. And I think last story.
No,
next to last.
Yeah. Okay. Bacteriophage startup secures 21 million euros funding. The financing grant was led by Nutreso, Aquaspark, and PFR Life Science, a portfolio company of the Polish Development Fund. PP will now launch a global product rollout of its bacteriophage products, which aim to reduce the reliance on antibiotics within aquaculture and livestock farming. Yeah.
Wonderful that you're seeing, again, science, technology pharmaceutical research, life sciences being applied to real world issues. So one of the things they're doing is with shrimp. Shrimp have antibiotics. They have big injection of things. So they're applying this to the seafood business, the shrimp business. And of course, this is a fund set up by PFR, funded by PFR, investing in a Polish tech startup. So cool to see that story. That's the way it's supposed to work. We'll see how they develop.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and now it's time for sure for the last story for today. A US tech company Aptio opens new product innovation center in Krakow. This office will be the epicenter of Aptio's product and engineering team in EMEA, with teams focusing on software development, product design, and product strategy.
Yeah, another big win for Krakow, another big technology, R&D, software development, more of that coming into Krakow. We've seen that across Poland for sure. So we'll continue to see more of that happen as time passes. Okay, let's finish today. And I want to just tease people for next week, early next week. There's been lots of politics interesting the last couple of days in Poland, yesterday particularly, with the votes. And we will be having a special guest interview with Marek Matraszek on Monday or Tuesday, trying to make some sense and give us some insights into what is going on behind the scenes with the peace coalition weakening, and the PO trying to push itself into power. So we should have an interesting interview with Marek Matraszek from CEC Government Relations in the coming days. We'll come back to you on that. Okay. In the meantime, Magda, we'll see you tomorrow, Friday the 13th. Hopefully things will be good. Keep our fingers crossed.
Okay, thank you for today and see you.
Okay, thanks, Magda. Bye.